I'm gonna talk about some teams' futures. We'll start with the Heat. Um, the Miami Heat, they I'm not gonna lie, this team really isn't that good. Like, I think the I think the Heat, their offense really isn't that good. I know we're gonna say, oh, the Miami Heat culture, they could just bring some guys off the street and they're gonna play hard. That is true. Because they do be getting some guys like these no names or whatever, and then they come to play. Like Caleb Martin, Hayward Highsmith. I don't think Hyman Hawkins is a no name, but you get what I'm saying. Them type of players, and they come to play for the Miami Heat. But in the press conference with Pat Riley paraphrasing, they don't know if they want to give Jimmy Butler an extension because he doesn't show he's been hurt. Jimmy Butler has been hurt, and Jimmy Butler's gonna be 35, and he's gonna ask for 50-something $1 million. Is Jimmy Butler really worth $50 million? And you guys are basically playing team, kind of or a lower seed. Now, don't get me wrong. Jimmy Butler, since he's been there, has taken his team to the finals twice and an ECF. But they haven't won, though. They haven't won anything. And is he worth it to give him all that money? I don't think Jimmy Butler's worth $55 million, because when you give somebody $55 million, that's basically telling them that you're like superstar status. I don't think Jimmy Butler's a superstar. I think he's just a star type player. And if you're the Miami Heat, you have to really think about, do you want to trade Jimmy Butler? Do you want to trade him? Because I hear rumors of him probably going back to Philadelphia. Obviously, we remember those days with Philly when it was Ben Simmons, JJ Redick, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. I already said I think that was probably starting five on paper wise. Outside of probably the Warriors, I think that was the best starting five on paper. That on paper, that team looked amazing. So you have to have decisions on what you want to do. I hear Donovan Mitchell. Can they get Donovan Mitchell? I think they have to trade assets to really get Donovan Mitchell. You could trade Tyler Hero. You might have to throw either Jovic or Jaime Jaquez. Give him some first round picks. Donovan Mitchell has 2 years left on his deal. He has 2 years left. So you're only going to get him for basically this year, and I think he has another year for a player option at $37 million. I said it before the trade deadline. I said I just trade Donovan Mitchell because they're not going to win a championship, and plus he doesn't even want to be in Cleveland. Like, let's get that out the way. He doesn't even want to be in Cleveland. He know that team ain't good enough to go nowhere. They're in a small market. He wants to go to a bigger market. If you have a nucleus of Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, and Bam, and depending on who else they surround them with, I think that team could be at the top of the East. Because even if Jimmy Butler does miss time, you got Donovan Mitchell now. Because I think Tyler Hero is a really good player. I like him, but he gets hurt a lot. Let's just be honest. Tyler Hero gets hurt every year. He just does. So, does Donovan Mitchell, is he the needle mover to get the Heat back to the finals? He might be, because you're pairing him with Jimmy Bam and Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley. Yeah, that might be the needle mover. I think the Heat. I think they can. I just don't like. I really just never liked this team from day one, because all the people that was saving them in like the playoffs, they basically gave them away. And Max Strus gave Vincent all of them. Like, this team really didn't have a chance against Boston, we're being honest. It took a miraculous 23 threes to beat them. So they never had a chance. I think the Heat, they have to see if they want to trade Jimmy or sign him to an extension. Would I sign Jimmy to $55 million? Probably not. I don't think he's worth 55. I think he's worth at least. I give him 40. 55? Nah, bro. I don't think you worth. That's superstar type money. You're just a star to me. You're in the tier twos. Now in the playoffs, you play differently. You tier one in the playoffs. You play out Jimmy. So did he have decisions to make? And I really don't know what they would do, but it just really depends on Jimmy if he really, really wants to stay with the Heat. I think he does want to stay, but he wants his money though at the end of the day. So we'll see about that. The Bucks. I'm not gonna lie. The Bucks, they're in a bad situation, if we're being honest. The Bucks, they did trade for Dame. This first year, I'm not gonna say it was a failure because the two Giannis and Dame was hurt in the playoffs. They were hurt. But man, in the regular season, I don't think they were a dominant team. They were third in the East, but they didn't feel like a third seed in the East to me, if we're being honest. They had problems. Like Dame and Giannis, the fit. I think it could have worked. I thought we was gonna see a lot of pick and rolls, high pick and rolls with them. We didn't see that. We really didn't. Because Giannis, I don't think he's that type of player to play with that type of player in Dame. Dame, he took a step back. We didn't see Dame time like we see in Portland. That's understandable. You're playing with another superstar. But when Adrian Griffin was there, oh, they couldn't stop anybody. That Bucks defense was bad. And I said that perimeter defense is going to be bad. You traded Grayson Allen and Drew Holiday. I knew that was going to be bad. And it was really bad. You fire Adrian Griffin. That's because, man, they fired that dude because the players just weren't messing with him. Giannis wasn't messing with him. They went to Giannis, and I bet he said, man, yeah, we not messing with dude. Get him out of here. So they traded him. I said they traded. They fired him. They fired him. Then you bring in Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, he was below 500 when he was there. That team still wasn't that good. Now, was the defense better? Yeah, the defense was a little bit better. But the scoring, that scoring really wasn't really like that. It wasn't high power like it was with Adrian Griffin. You get another first round exit. Last year, Giannis missed the first game. He missed the first. He missed. You could say he missed game one, even though he hurt his back in the first quarter. He missed game two, missed game three, but he did come back and they still lost at 5. This series, he misses the whole series. Dame misses 2 games. Dame missed 2 games. And they lost in 6 to the Pacers. So Bucks really weren't that good. They wasn't all that good. So, and they have no cap space. So you can't go out there and sign nobody. They're an old team. They can't really move on their feet. Like, you got Middleton for 2 more years. Dame, he got that extension from the Blazers. So he got 2 more years. Well, he really got 3 more years. Giannis, he has 3 years. He signed that new deal. That's going to come up, I think, after this year. Lopez, 1 more year. Bobby Portis, 2 more years. Dame and Giannis basically give up your cap space. They basically have a majority of the cap space just from them two. I think my co-host said, I think you trade Chris Middleton. Because I feel like if the Bucks had to choose, they would rather keep Drew Holiday than Chris Middleton. But the only reason you couldn't trade Chris Middleton because he was a free agent. You signed him to an extension. You can't trade him until a certain date. But let's say it would have been, if you could sign him and then just immediately trade him, they would have traded Chris Middleton instead of Drew. So I think they let him go, try to get some cap space, and they got to get younger. Like, the only young player they really got is Andre Jackson. I think he's decent. He played at UConn. He was a raw talented player. I think he's gonna get better. But outside of that, who is your young player that you could say I'm high on? Nobody else. Giannis is almost about to be 30. Dame is in his mid 30s. Chris Middleton, I think he's in his mid 30s. Lopez is in his 30s. Bobby Portis is in his 30s. This team's old. I do think they trade Chris Middleton. I think you gotta break this up, man. Chris Middleton did help them. He did help them bring a championship. So I think they get rid of him and let him go. Because I know Giannis is tired of losing. I know Giannis is tired of losing. Like, bro, ever since they gone to the finals, they haven't really done anything in the playoffs. I'm just being honest. They haven't really done anything. So I think they break this up and trade somebody so they could get younger and get some cap room. Because they don't got cap room, they can't do anything. And I don't think this is a championship caliber team. They're gonna be great. They're gonna be great in the East because it's the East. But when you got to face against Boston, maybe now New York, I don't think they're better than those teams. I don't think they're better than them. So I think they gotta trade somebody. I wouldn't be shocked if they trade Dame. I wouldn't be shocked. But I don't think they trade him, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did trade Dame. All right. We're gonna talk about the Sixers. The Sixers, I don't think this one's gonna be that long. I think the Sixers, like, you got Joel Embiid, you got Tyrese Maxey. They did lose in the first round. I did pick the Sixers to beat the Knicks, and I think they could have won that series, man. I think they could have won that series from like consistent role players. Tobias Harris, you gave them nothing, man. I ain't even gonna speak on him. He's a free agent. Buddy Hield's a free agent. Kyle Lowry's a free agent. Oubre is a free agent. They got $65 million in cap space, so they could go out and get another max player. I saw people on TV saying, should the Sixers, should they go after, say, a Paul George or like a Jimmy Butler, get like another star level player, or should you just get high quality role players? Me personally, I would say you should probably get. I think Paul George on that team would be really good. Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. You're giving Tyrese Maxey the max out the way he did this year. Most improved, average 25 points. Yes, he's going to get the max. That's going to happen. But I think they should probably go after high-quality role players because I don't think you need a big three to win now. I just think you need just high-quality role players around your two stars. And I think they can make a run of the East. Yes, you still got Boston, you still got New York. Milwaukee will be there. But after that, it's really them. It's really those four teams. So I think they can really make a run in the East even if they do get a Paul George or Jimmy Butler. I think they can still make a run. But the thing is, you do got to get somebody else. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they did get, say, like a Paul George or Jimmy, because Joel Embiid gets hurt every year. This is factual now. He's going to get hurt regardless. He's going to get hurt. So you have to decide on, do we get another star player? So when Joel is hurt, we're gonna still have two players, because the Sixers struggled this year when it was just Maxey as the star. So they have to figure that out. I think they should just sign high quality role players to surround Joel and Tyrese Maxey. I think that would be better. But I'm not gonna be upset if they do get Paul George. I'll be happy if they do get him. So I don't got no problem with that. But they do got the cap space. They got $65 million in cap space, so they can really get somebody. If Paul George decides to leave from the Clippers, I don't think he will. But if he does decide to leave, they can get somebody, or they could trade for Jimmy Butler. He's still under contract, so they could trade for Jimmy. Do they have the assets? I don't think they really got a lot of good assets, if we're being honest. I don't think they got good assets to trade for Jimmy. But that's neither here nor there. The Sixers, they have decisions too, because they're in a window, man. You got to try and win a championship while Joel Embiid is at least still in his prime. This man gave you 30 points on one leg. Imagine if he was healthy, he's going to give you 35 points. So they got decisions to make. Overall, I think they do just get high quality role players.